and welcome back to a brand new video. So in the south side, we're going to start this video off today, and you can just see the machines there. So I want a roller, like a steamroller of some sort. So we're going to have a bit of a look at how this new ride is going on in Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Have a look around this area too, so come and join me on this one. And directly in front is where the new ride is going to go, the Avactus, if I've pronounced that one right, and that's going to be a huge 138 feet tall with a 120-degree swinging pendulum gyro ride. And you just see, like I said, the foundations have been dug out, and the first stage of this ride is now complete. And as the rain absolutely pours down again in Blackpool, like I said, we're just near the Pleasure Beach, and this one was opened up in 1896, and there's been many a different ride over the years, and there was quite a bad fire going back in the 1990s. In fact, it was December 1991, and there was a bad fire at the fun house, and all that remained was a clown's head. All that remains was a clown's head out of the fire. How freaky, I guess, is that? If anything remains, you know, a clown's head. Absolutely extraordinary. And the ghost train again. This is quite sort of haunted. The actual Pleasure Beach itself, you've got Cloggy, which is a lot of people doing a Most Haunted. Did a film of old Cloggy on the train, and I'd imagine that so many people have been at the Pleasure Beach, created different memories. So you can just imagine, you know, there's probably more than one ghost roaming around. So we're just on Bond Street. What we're going to do, we're going to have a little nip to this little car park, a Bond Street car park, because sometimes you find some unusual goodies. What's in the corner? It's always interesting. Like I said, when they're redoing the sort of new projects and dismantling certain rides, it can be quite sort of interesting. But yeah, there's the Pleasure Beach, and like I say, so much history belonging to that one. So we're back at where all these containers are. Imagine what the goodies are in these containers. The stories that could tell. There's all sorts of old pieces of ride and everything. And I see the old litter bins, some of the old rides, and you don't have to go far to see the old mattress there. Look at that. So it's like possibly people have been maybe doing a bit of fly tipping. And what's all that about? The old straw. I wonder if that's going to be used for Christmas, some like a Christmas theme possibly. They're going to be using at the Pleasure Beach. But yeah, it's amazing, like I said, what you do find in here. I guess it sort of brings back a lot of memories. I mean, like I said, we have filmed, there's not much really you can see here today, but like I said, it'd be interesting what they have thrown out. And just made our way to the former Yates, and you see all the machines now have gone. Look at the fencing, completely come down as the rain again beats down in Blackpool. Awful day once again. And just right in front is where the main entrance was, and you can see this like lake now. Look at that. Look how deep that is. Now it used to be the cellar, what led underneath, and that's just become a bit of a boating lake possibly. Look at that. I see all the machines have now gone, and it's just a barren wasteland for the time being. The only thing what does remain is that portable camera you can just see on the right hand side of the picture. And you see the horse and cart gushing up the promenade. And how unbelievable this, like I said, the old Yates is flooded. It looks like a boating lake. Absolutely incredible. And just a different angle. You can see, like I say, where the cellar is completely flooded, and all it needs is a couple of canoes, a paddle boat, and away you go. So this one is going to be rebuilt to like a restaurant, and I believe it's a 20-bed hotel. It's going to look swish once it's all complete, but you can see at the moment, like I say, it's just that barren wasteland. And just opposite the former Yates, you can see this one used to be called Mag's Cafe. Well, just to the left-hand side, this was the old amusements, and this one has been derelict for a long time. But you can see it looks like they're possibly doing some work with this one. So I wonder what this one is going to be. You can see all the brickwork, the pipe work, there's wood. Not too sure what those are. Looks like the old sweets. Look at that, the old Chubba Chubs, the old lollies. So I'd imagine they would have come out of the old amusements. Look at that. So it's fantastic. Like I said, some of these old buildings just on Shore Road. This one, Bond Street, Shore Road, is being redone. So look at this one, the old Chubba, and this probably used to be like a 20p, and you can actually see some of the old stickers. Look at that, Pokemon, and some of these are probably worth a bit of money, and there's many of them in here. So some of these, like I say, some of these Pokemon cards are worth an actual fortune, and just in there's all sorts of goodies. What's in there from the old machine? But you can just see, like I said, all the wood and everything. These are like little decors, and this inside there's all sorts. So we'll continue having a bit of a walk around this area. Now, I do correct myself on that one. I said it's Bond Street, it's Bolton Street. So I do apologise, on the corner of Shore Road and Bolton Street. So like I said, it's an awful, the wind is getting up, absolutely awful. And this is another one, the old famous fish and chips, and this one's been here since 1972. Many people have probably grabbed the bite to eat. Look at that little, so these are always interesting. Always move the camera back again. These little alleyways, like I said, the stories these would have told back in the day. And this one used to be called, or still is called, for temporarily, the Coastal Bay Hotel. You can see a complete rip out is going on. We did speak to the guy before, and he's going to be renamed also, and it's an absolutely massive project. You can just see what's coming out, the old fruit machines, all sorts. So it's fantastic how, you know, these older hotels, people have still got faith in Blackpool and the tourism in Blackpool. And like I said, the Dashers Hotel we filmed the other day, this hotel, like I said, it looks a complete mess, a complete rip out, but it's going to be exciting times ahead when this one is opened. So as we just move further down, you can see this one is now all boarded up, and they've spent many months regenerating this one. You see there, that's where the lift is. So look again, all the water was reflecting on the road. Look at that. So just inside the boarded up hotel at the front, there's an awful lot of work. Imagine water, gas mains, everything, electricity is going on behind closed doors. And again, just another angle of this one on Crystal Road. You can just see on the front of the canopy there, you see where it's all rotten. So like I said, all the rendering, everything has been done on the front and the side. But again, you know, there's a lot of these hotels all along the promenade being given a brand new lease of life. So it just shows how much confidence is in Blackpool for the tourism and the trade of the hoteliers, which is really encouraging to see. So as we continue yet again further north in Blackpool, and it's a funny thing, people have the brollies like this gentleman there, and they always get crunched up. Look at that. And that's the thing about brollies, you know, it's all right if there's no wind, but as soon as a bit of wind, they just literally blow inside out. And again, what are the view of the Linden Hotel there in that lovely, stunning blue colour. And this one was an interesting one, the Waterloo. Or it's like it says, the new Waterloo, and they got a little wishing well just in the little garden thing. And it's like there's plenty of work going on in Blackpool, to be fair, all over the place. You know, with these the old hotels out there just arrived for the weekend and hope they enjoy their Christmas market. Again, so many things going on, and there you go, the new Waterloo. Who remembers that one? See the old sign, and Aspire House has now become. There you go. Imagine how many people have popped a penny in this little wishing well. Probably like a little wishing well over the years. Look at that. You don't see them anymore. Look at that. Welcome to Blackpool. So there you go, Aspire Plab Academy. And like I mentioned in the other, there's so many people invested in Blackpool at the moment. It does look tired in some areas, but there is investment going ahead. So this one is quite a new one being recently done up. Sapphire Hotel. That looks a nice swish one. So just as we head in to Trafalgar Road, and that's where the home of the Smashed Burgers is. Right there, the old Smash Burgers. They trade out like a ship container, and they was on about expanding and putting a pizza place, but looks like that hasn't happened at the moment too. And again, you can see the seagulls ripping in to the bags, and they're little buggers there. They always find something to grab hold of. Look at that. So like I say, things are looking up in Blackpool. Like I said, plenty of investment going ahead, and it's always nice to see. Like I said, this is just at the back of some of the huge hotels. And this one on the corner used to be like a little convenience store, and I did speak to the guy who owns the hotel, the Mercury Hotel, and he said this one has been gone for many years. The holiday shop. I wonder what will happen to that one. And a bit of sad news just as we're going to end the video, and this one used to be a fantastic old-fashioned, looks like an old-fashioned Victorian sweet shop back in its day, and looks like it's been demolished. How sad is that? And I filmed this many a time. This was like one of my favourite little areas on Lytham Road, and like I say, just on the corner of Moon Avenue. What a sad thing. Like I say, I used to enjoy coming down here, and it was up for sale for many years. And you can just see that piece of glass. You can see that you got the round circle. That's how they used to mould the glass years and years ago. And you can see the old wooden frames, and you don't see glass with the circle anymore. That's only on very old panes. So end of an era for this little shop, and the stories I'd imagine that could tell. So that's a bit of a sad ending for me personally. So I think I'm going to re-look on some of the older videos I have done. What a shame. Like I said, the stories it could have, told over the years, and the customers, wonder what the shop used to be years ago. Just near the bridge on Central Drive, this one. And another one, the famous hole in the wall market. That would have been thriving again many years ago. So that is the end of the video. Like I say, apologies to end it on a bit of a low, well, probably a bit of a low for me, I would say. In some respects, or basically all the respects, this area is being redone. Lytham Road. So until next time, look after yourselves, take care. It's a bye from me, and it's a bye from Blackpool. Bye bye.